week. So yeah. Hello, everyone. We're back and better than ever. Are we back and better than ever? I don't know.
Hopefully.
We'll wait till people pop in the room and they'll let us know if we're back and better than ever. We think we're on. When we were streaming earlier, we were like everything was dandy. And then all of a sudden people were saying they couldn't hear us, see us, frozen, all kinds of things. So hopefully this one will take and we won't have to worry about it. So I know we had Tiffany and I know we had Devon. I pulled a card for Tiffany. We'll start there. We'll have to just make sure everybody's here in the room. Are people coming in? Oh, here's some people. Hi, guys. Hello. Welcome. Glad to see you. Okay. So, Tiffany, hopefully you're watching. Let's make sure Tiffany's here. Tiffany, when you get here, will you put something in the chat so we know you're here? And then we can do your reading. We're having some, of course, Mercury retrograde technical difficulties. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blame not me, not the love witch, not even the computer. I'm going to blame not even the internet. I'm going to blame Mercury. Mercury, it's all your fault. So we're doing our readings. We have already had some people pop in with donations. So we're going to do a reading for Tiffany. We're going to do a reading for Devon. So as soon as Tiffany and Devon come in, can you put that you're in the chat so we know that you're here so we can do your readings? Yay. Yes, thank you. So has anybody popped in and said they're here yet? Not yet?
Not yet. Neither of those two.
Can you see who's here when you're all over on YouTube? No?
No, I can just see how many people are here.
Yeah. So if you're Tiffany or Devon, go ahead and jump into the chat and just let us know that you're here so that we know that we can do your reading. The rest of you, if you would like a reading, go ahead and make a donation. You can make a donation on PayPal. You can make a donation on Venmo. You can make a donation on Super Chat. We'll be popping up and rotating those. Super Chat, we will not be rotating. All you have to do for Super Chat is just go down below and click on the little dollar sign, and that will get things going. So Devon and Tiffany, if you are here, just let us know in the chat so we can do your reading. The rest of you, if you'd like a reading, make a donation. There's the PayPal QR code. We also have the Super Chat down below, and we'll pop up that Venmo code in a minute, and you can just scan it and make a donation. And then what you need to do is go into the chat and let us know how much you donated, where you donated, and what your question is. All right, we have enough people here. Maybe Devon's here, maybe Tiffany's
Devon
here.
is here. I don't see Tiffany yet, but do you want to start with Devon and we can come back to Tiffany once we see
Sure. We'll do that. I will remember what Tiffany's card is, so I'll find it again. All right. So I'm gonna put that one back in the deck, and we're gonna do a little shuffle. Devon, I am guessing you want the usual. You're, like we said last week, it's like Cheers. We know your order. We know what you're ordering at the bar. So Devon likes to take a look at the week ahead. All right, let's take a look and see what we see. Okay, alrighty. So this is a really spiritual week for you, and also like a creative week for you, Devon. I see this as like you're doing your spiritual work, but I think through creativity. I think that they're kind of blended together. As I look at it, and I'm going to talk about each of the cards, I'm seeing strong fire energy cards, which are about taking action, jumping in, and really living life with gusto and living life with passion and enthusiasm and optimism. And I think it's I almost get this feeling like there's also like a clearing, cleansing energy going on this week as well, where you're going to be like getting rid of the things that are slowing you down, getting rid of the things that are blocking your path, or getting rid of those things. So let's talk about it. So first card that we have is the Hierophant card. The Hierophant card is a card that represents spiritual learning, spiritual teaching as well. But it can also represent mentorship. I've seen this card, Devon, show up for you more than once. I mean, we've had the Hierophant show up for you as like guides and people around you who are helping you to get where you need to go, to get to the fulfillment in life, to the projects that you want to start and all of that. And we see these loving people who are there to support you. I really feel like it's a community of people around you who want to support you and support you in your endeavors. So as I look at the Hierophant, I'm saying, oh, okay, this week, I mean, we've had so many weeks where it's like romance, 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 love, love, love. Now this week we're doing some inward spiritual work. It's like, I think it's a beautiful give the romance and love a little rest for this week, and we can do some spiritual work. But know that you have these wonderful teachers, guides, people around you who are there to assist and help you to get to your goal. One of the things that's jumping out for me in this card is this triple armed cross, which I'm seeing this as like stepping stones or like a ladder to get up higher, to get to a higher place. And I mean, like get to higher spiritual levels or get to your goals, reach your goals, and so on. So I'm saying lean into those people. And if you have an opportunity to connect with those people that are supportive advisors, teachers, mentors, this week is a great week to do that. Nine of Wands shows up, which is this wonderful protective energy of, I love this card for that. But Nine of Wands is also about self-confidence, like believing in yourself. Great activity for this week would be giving yourself pep talks. I can do this. I'm powerful. I'm capable. I mean, giving yourself those pep talks this week would be really, really good. To build confidence, right? This is a card that has the message that it is that you have everything that you need to succeed, but you are not yet quite at the point where you're believing it, that you believe in yourself completely, and trusting yourself and knowing that you have the skills to do it. So I think that's a great other spiritual project to work on. When I said there's spiritual cleanup, I meant spiritual cleanup. We have the death card, and death card in this context really says to me, it's time to really let go. I feel like there are things that may be weighing you down or things that are just like kind of outlived their welcome or outlived their usefulness and they're still hanging around. That can be energies, that can be doing like a real purge of your house and getting rid of old stuff. I think one of the things many people have the problem of being creative and looking at everything as potentially a creative project. Oh, my big crazy thing is buying books. I buy books all the time. I'm running out of bookshelf. In fact, I have long ago run out of bookshelf. If you could see my living room, there's like stacks in my living room of books. And especially when I'm writing, I buy so many books, but I've got to get rid of them. So I'm like, well, I could sell them on and I could do this and do that. No, girl, just get them out into the world. Give them to friends or get them to a thrift store. Get them out into the world. They're languishing here. They're not living their best life. Nobody's reading them. So I need to do something with them, right? So I think that there's stuff like that for you where it's either old, outmoded ideas or old things in your house that you're not using, but doing a big purge and a cleanse will open doors for you. The death card is about expansion. It's about going on to your next adventure. Oh my God. It. Wonderful. So this is really supporting that. So keep that energy going this week because what you're going to come is like, then you're like as quick as a rabbit. Then it's like shedding those things that are dragging us down. I almost feel like sometimes possessions can be a little bit like Marley's ghost in the Christmas Carol. He's got all these chains around him, right? And they're weighing him down. And I sometimes think, having lots of stuff around, it really does become a burden. And so, and I speak as a person who's like always sees the potential everything and everyone, right? Like, so I look at, oh, that cardboard box could come in handy. So get rid of the damn cardboard box, right? So I think that this wonderful purging energy that you're doing is going to be really opening up so many good things. Remember that when we get rid of stuff, we make space for something really good to come into our life. And when we have stuff that really isn't, bringing us, I mean, it sounds Con Marie-ish, but if it's not bringing you joy, it's not useful. It's just sitting there because one day, I'm the biggest ADHD person. I have a closet full of art projects that one day I'm going to do, right? I need to go through that thing, right? So we need to think about like unloading that stuff so we can make space for new. Find a home for it, give it to a friend, donate it to a charity or a thrift shop or something like that. I'm not a person who likes to throw away things unless they're absolutely broken. I think, waste is terrible, but we can find wonderful homes for these things. And maybe it's donating my books to like a little free library somewhere, or, donating it to my friend who has a bookstore, or, Bronx Witch headquarters they sell books. I can give them books that they can sell and help support them. So, there's always things that you can do and homes that you can find for it. What I love about it is it takes you to this beautiful place, the King of Wands. King of Wands energy is feeling optimistic, positive, energized. I love King of Wands energy. It's creative, it's action oriented. It's not sitting there, it's doing things. And so what I think all of this is doing, bringing in your allies, bringing in mentors, getting that routine of building your own empowerment by saying positive affirmations to yourself, getting rid of the dead weight and doing that cleaning and purging is going to put you in a place where you feel optimistic, empowered, enthusiastic. You're ready to take on the world. You're ready to take on new projects. I think this is so, so good. So I love this. Love this for you, Devon. Thank you so much for your donation. You are such a magical, magical fairy. I always say that you're a magical Gemini fairy that just brings so much light into the world. And I thank you so much for your wonderful donation, your kindness, your generosity. So much love to you. Thank you so much. You're a gem. All right. Is Tiffany back?
I haven't seen her. Oh, we need to do a magic 8
ball. Yeah. Magic 8 ball question.
What should we ask it though?
What are we going to ask it? Do you have a question you want to ask on if you can think of one?
No, I can't think of anything. Okay. It's been a long day.
I'm going to come up with a question. All right. Devon we can ask a question to get a confirmation, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
So is the cleaning and the purging that Devon is doing? This is a great question. Can she stop now or does she need to continue? So we're asking the question, does she need to continue? It has to be yes or no. Does she need to continue purging and cleaning this week?
Yeah, it's like stuck on a corner. It is very doubtful. I think maybe you're like near the end of it and that's exciting. Yeah. For me with cleaning and purging and stuff, I have a really hard time because I see all my things as like sentient beings, right? So I'm like, I can't let go of this. I have this like emotional, personal connection to it. But then I remind myself, if this thing is sentient, then it doesn't want to be like sitting in a corner getting ignored. I need to like let it go live some life.
Yeah, let it have a life. Exactly. Let it have a life where it's appreciated by someone and valued by someone. So maybe you're purging and cleaning. You can wrap it up and you can work on other things this week. So that's good to know, right? Wonderful, wonderful. Love that. Okay, is Tiffany, if you're back, let us know in the chat so we can do your reading. In the meantime, we're going to keep on trucking. And next is Nicole with a 2-card reading. And Nicole has a question. PayPal general week ahead. Thank you so much, Nicole. Appreciate you. Next after Nicole is Vivian. Somewhere in there's Tiffany if she pops back in. Okay.
Oh, I want to share this really sweet comment before we move on. How cool.
Oh my gosh. Granite Gripe. I just found your podcast after searching for ancestor veneration practices. What a coincidence. In the following episode's intro, mentioned that you live stream right now. I mentioned that's amazing.
That's so cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So glad to have you here. Wonderful to see you here. All right. Thank you so much then. And also, Granite Gripe, go to spellsquad.com and sign up, and then you'll get all kinds of goodies from me. We have new goodies that we're offering at spellsquad.com. So if you sign up, you get not only this free illustrated ebook, 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spell Work, you also get 13 Book of Shadows pages from my Book of Shadows. You also get a discount at the Parlor of Wonders that you can use anytime. And then also you get access to the Live Magic Q&A Tea Party, which takes place 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're not going to have it for the next few weeks because next week is for Sundays and I do a workshop, and then the following 2 Sundays I'm going to be out of town, but we'll be back after that. So I get a little vacation, you guys. But all right. So okay, let's see what we got for Nicole.
Okay, and Tiffany is back, so she will be right.
Okay, so be next, and then we'll move on to Vivian. Tiffany's just 1 card, so. Oh my gosh, Nicole, this is an exciting week for you. New energy. All right, first card that shows up is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is new love coming into your life. This could be romantic love. It can be a sweet little friend. It can be a pet. It can be something new.
Sorry.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Don't worry about that. I'm trying to hide that person and not display them.
Okay. All right. So the Ace of Cups energy is about new love coming into your life. And that can be in the form, as I said, it can be romantic love coming in. But often with Ace of Cups energy, it is a new person. So this is not renewing an old friendship or an old relationship or your current pet or something like that. It is somebody new coming into your life. So this is exciting because you're going to meet someone this week who is a very important person to you, probably someone who's part of your soul group you connect with very deeply. So I would recommend, like, if you have that opportunity to get out and socialize and do that this week, you'll absolutely have this wonderful, loving relationship open up in your life. Also, we have Ace of Pentacles. So that's why I said new. Again, aces represent new things that are not necessarily, it's not repeating the old thing. Ace of Pentacles represents this idea of a new business opportunity, a new side hustle, a promotion at work, a new job of some kind. So this is also showing up for you. So we've got all this fresh, new, exciting movement happening in your life this week in regards to emotion and in regards to sort of practical monetary, prosperity things. So that's really, really good. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Tiffany, I'm going to find your card and we're going to talk about it because I pulled it before and then we started talking about it. And then all hell broke loose. There it is. Okay.
Well, you find that. What yes or no question should we do?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot. So yes or no question. Is it a good idea for Nicole to get out and be very social this week to activate these new opportunities?
It says without a doubt. I don't know if you can see that. Well, you definitely cannot see that, but I can see it. It says without a doubt.
You'll just have to take her word for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah. So that's great. So yeah, get out, get visible, do social things this week because that's going to open up. I think always the more we're in the flow of life, the more things that can happen and being in the flow of life. Last week's question was about work. So maybe I'm getting a raise. It can be a raise. It can be a promotion. I mean, that's really, really great. Okay. So, Tiffany, yours was the 5 of Wands, and 5 of Wands is a card about you having to do some like organizing this week. I would just call it organization. It can be internal organization. This can be like being, spreading yourself too thin or having too many pots on the stove, kind of thing, or too many plates spinning. You've got too many things going on. You need to focus and bring it all together. So you need to get a little organized in that area. If it's not your own personal organization, it can be the people that you work with that need some organization so that they can work harmoniously together. So I think that there's some energy that feels a little scattered, a little all over the place, and a little chaotic that you're going to work on this week to bring together, to get focused and to get things moving forward. But it's going to come from your own leadership. So whether that's leadership over yourself or if that's leadership over others, it's like let's get everybody on the same page. Let's get all of my actions organized so that we can set some things aside for later, and we're going to focus on the thing in front of us and get that done. So that's what I see for you this week. And then you get it done. So the question I'm going to ask on your behalf, the yes, no question I'm going to ask on your behalf is, if Tiffany, okay, let's say this, will it be easy for Tiffany to, or will it be like the other side, will it be challenging? So is it going to be challenging to get this, or is it going to be easy to get the focus happening? Is it going to be easy to get the focus happening?
Okay, it is certain. So it's going to be easy.
Great. So it's not even that hard of a thing. You just have to do it. Great. Okay. Love that. Okay. So Vivian, and then Galadriel's after Vivian. Thank you so much, you guys. So Vivian has a 4-card reading. Thank you so much, Vivian. I want to know what the heck is happening in my life. Am I making all the right decisions, and will everything be okay? All right. Okay. Okay, this is awesome. I mean, it's really interesting. I find it fascinating. You know, we just had the Live Magic Q&A, and Vivian brought up something, and it's showing up in your reading now. Part of what you're working on right now is to get out of limited thinking. Remember what we were talking about in the Q&A, which is to get out of habitual patterns of thinking that are keeping us trapped. And, you know, swords represent thoughts, ideas, beliefs, things that we have, mental things that we have. And this is the 8 of Swords is the card that represents limitation. Like, we're creating our own limitation. Oftentimes when I see this card showing up, it's like, what prison have you created for yourself? And you have created for yourself, not anybody else. These are limitations, not a prison, like a physical prison, but like when you hold beliefs that are not empirically true, you're creating a prison for yourself, right? So if I hold the belief, I'm just going to throw something out there, like imaginary. I hold the belief that I'm too old to find love. That's not empirically proven. People fall in love at 80s or 90s or whatever. But if I were, I'm not looking for love. I'm in a relationship, but I'm saying as if I'm feeling like it's not possible for me, I've just now created a cage for myself, right? I've created a cage for myself. That is not empirically true. It is something that I believe that is creating that cage. So what I would say to you, Vivian, is that mental work that we talked about in the Q&A is going to be very, very valuable for you. Extremely valuable for you. So when you are looking for, like, for example, I don't want to manifest something negative, then you want to get into that mental control where you are creating positive things, and you really remove the belief that the fear that comes along with that belief that I'm going to manifest something negative. So this is like your work, right? This is what your real work is right now. When you want to know what the heck is happening in your life, it's like you need to examine your beliefs, and you need to examine these things and what is keeping you trapped. If it is the belief that I manifest every single thing, good or bad, that is an artificial thing, because that's not what people do. It's not as if you yourself have said, I'm manifesting all these good things, but now I'm afraid because what if I accidentally manifest something bad? You created a cage for yourself with that. So you need to do some deep self-examination on your own thoughts, ideas, and beliefs, and which ones are empirically true and which ones are not. So empirically true things are like, I don't know, empirically true thing is I cannot in this lifetime be a child actor. I always say that. Like, I can't be a child actor. That ship has sailed, right? But that is empirically true. But can I do the thing that would bring me joy, which is to be an actor, right? Of course I can. Of course I can pursue that.
And you could be an actor playing a child.
Would
Even
be
that is possible.
amazing. I want to start the New Little Rascals, you know, with
Hey.
60-year-old people, right? Or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like, I think there, you know, there are things, but really the reality is there are very few things that are that are limitations. We create way more limitations than actually exist. I want to live on Mars now. Well, that's not going to happen right now, but maybe one day I could live on Mars. I don't want to live on Mars, but you know what I'm saying. So I think you want to examine your beliefs, and are your beliefs created by yourself? And if so, are they keeping you trapped in some way? That's a big deal. I think there's a lot of this. Again, we have the Five of Wands, which is that needing to get chaotic energy under control. So that may also be what's happening, is that you are making the right decisions, but I think you're also feeling very scattered, just as Tiffany is feeling a lot of energy and being pulled in a lot of different directions. So when we see Five of Wands, we need to bring up like, oh, we need to like work together, or we need to mesh these things, or we need to get organized in some way. And so I feel like that is also a message for you in all of this. And if we get a little bit more organization, or we prioritize things, then we won't be quite so chaotic. The energy won't be quite so chaotic. It may not just be your own organization. It may be organizing your family, organizing the people around you, organizing your work scenario. I mean, all of those things. Putting healthy boundaries, being clear, communicating clearly, expectations, your needs being met, and so on and so forth, whatever it is that you need to communicate. Important other thing here is the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is self-advocacy. So are you advocating for yourself is another question. So I think that's advocating for yourself internally and externally, right? Are you, that goes along with that, you know, that Nine of Swords, or the Eight of Swords, sorry, that is like feeling trapped. This is like, you need to advocate for yourself in some capacity and speak up and ask for what it is that you need. Really, that's it, right? We were talking about that earlier. I was doing the tarot salon earlier, and we were talking about that. So advocating for yourself could be very, very good in this situation, and will also help. I think this is communication internally and externally is key over this next few weeks. Look at this Strength card. This is that thing that I think is really the essence of all this. You have it under control, believe it or not, or you're, you know, whatever feels out of control, you're going to get under control. You have the strength to do that, but you do it with gentleness and kindness. Look at, she's giving that lion a little pet and a kiss and a little sweet energy to that lion. It's a very sweet card. It's about having the strength and the fearlessness to approach things, and to do it with confidence, and to do it with that real energy of knowing you can handle it. And there's nothing here that feels like a horrible thing that you have to handle. There's nothing horrible in these cards. It's a matter of cleaning things up a little bit, organizing a little bit, communicating a little bit, and also doing that mental cleanup as well. You know, the mental cleanup. And I think this is where you're going to get to, is that Strength card of just, look how sweet that is. She's like gently giving the little lion a scratch. Mm-hmm. So let's ask the question, is there something or someone that Vivian needs to let go of? Is there something or someone?
It says you can rely on it.
So there's something
room for releasing.
Yeah, I think there's a part of this. I just kind of got an intuitive hit that there's something or someone that it's time to like let go, you know, to really let go. It's not bad, or it's just like, if there's, you know, the creation of that chaos is maybe coming from, you know, something or I mean, it could be a thing even too. We were talking earlier about like feeding negativity by watching too much news. Maybe it's that, you know, too much social media, too much news could be, you know, feeding that. And so maybe there's something that we have to like be disciplined about letting go and just giving it a rest for a while, you know?
Setting a boundary, or like taking a break from someone or from an activity or from a place can be a super, super magical act. Even for me, like if I'm waiting on a package and it's delayed, I'll start cleaning up the area where the things in that box are going to go. And all of a sudden, it gets here faster. So make the space in your life for the things that you want, and they'll then arrive. But if we're still focused on the things that we used to have or that we thought we wanted 10 years ago and now are just frustrating us, then not so much room for good new things to come in.
Yeah.
And also, I know this was just your example situation, but if anybody is watching and feels like they're too old for love, talk to my friend who owns a retirement home. You're not. Very active people in those homes.
Yeah, that is just such a, like, I think it's like really getting into the place of all possibilities. We want to strive to be that full card energy where we have lots of trust. We know it's all going to work out. And I think that's very, very good. So, and I think, within this, it's self-advocacy and all of this, even if it's like that drawing a boundary, like Knight of Swords is about drawing boundaries and self-advocacy. So I think having a little more boundary experience and a little more, clarity, and maybe setting something aside, even giving something a break, if it's not completely eliminating something, would be a good thing, right? Good thing. All right. Next, we thank you so much. I want to say thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Devon. Thank you, Tiffany. Galadriel is next, and Galadriel will be our last one for the evening, because unless you come in hot, because she's the last one on the list, and I have to get back to doing my manuscript, which is due tomorrow, and I don't even want to tell you, 7,000 words, 6,000 words I have to write tonight.
No more wild flowers. Not till you're done.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you I can do it, but I will also tell you this is the ultimate, like, I waited until the night before my report was due. But I'm also telling my editor, hey, we can work on this together, because I really feel lost.
Like the first draft, right?
Exactly. It's the first draft. Yeah, it's the first draft. So it's not like I have to have it perfect, but boy, I might feel sorry for my editor. She's kind of getting a last minute book report.
It's going to be on time. It's going to be on time, and that's going to be great news for her. So.
Exactly. It'll be on time, but yeah, it's something else. So, by the way, this is not that book that I'm working on, but I just want to remind everyone that I have the book. It's called The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars. It's coming out in January. I saw a sneak peek at the almost finished cover, and when that cover comes out, I'll be posting it all over socials and everywhere. It's gorgeous. The book is amazing. It's about making magic with animals. It's not about using animals as servants or it's about, how do I get into their world and how do we make magic together? And it is, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this book. I wrote it and I'm in love with it. And that sometimes happens with the book, and it's a weird thing that happens. Like, you're like, did I write that? That's really good. That's how I feel about this book. It's a really amazing book. And if you love animals, wild animals, pets, farm animals, whatever, it's just, if you're an animal lover, it's like the joy of making magic with animals is and it's got so many recipes and ideas, and oh my gosh, I think you're all gonna love it. I love it, and I wrote it. I would want this book, so that's a good sign.
And I feel like when you're really like channeling information and downloading it, and it's just like coming to you out of nowhere, then it's easy to fall in love with it, because it's sent there for you to share with everybody.
Exactly. And I just think animals are we're so lucky to live in a world with animals, and how magical and beautiful they are. Yeah. So I watch all the animal videos on, social media. I send all the videos to the Love Witch, and pretty much. I have other friends. I have dog friends. I send the dog videos to. I have cat friends. I send the cat videos. All right. Thank you so much, Galadriel. Donated $20 on Venmo. Coming off 2 months of illness and injuries and feeling stuck, and I'm motivated. What's going on with me, and how can I start moving on, manifesting my dreams again? Okay. Oh, you're not stuck. This is wild. Oh my gosh, you've got two really potent cards, really powerful cards, and neither of them are negative. So let's talk about them. First question, what's going on with me? Justice card shows up, and Justice card is a card about investing in the future. So what I like, there's a payoff for all of this. You're in the middle of it now, and it feels like, what the heck? I was sick, I was injured, I was this, I was that, I'm feeling stuck, I'm all of that. Honestly, there's going to be a payoff. If you invest in something, it's going to pay off. So I would look to like how to resolve this, right? It's also going into question B a little bit, but it's like, what little thing can I do that will get me moving forward? Just a little thing. What do I need right now? Maybe, my sense is that you needed some rest time. Oftentimes you get sick and we get ill when our body is like, enough is enough. You need to rest. You've been going, working really hard, doing all these things, but you're not giving me downtime. So sometimes injuries can happen and illness can happen, not that we manifest them, but that our body just says, I need to rest, right? So I think that rest time, you want to look at this time as productive time. Rest time is productive time. I mean, I was sick as a dog with COVID, really sick with COVID. I watched old movies from the 1930s and 40s, which I never do, I never get to do. And I looked at that as like, this is a wonderful replenishment of like just my creativity and all of that. So even your months of illness and injuries and feeling stuck and unmotivated is downtime that is necessary for you to be productive later. And that's the payoff that I see from the Justice card. So productivity will come. I don't think you have to. How do you start moving on manifesting dreams again? We're going to talk about some practical things that you can do, but look at this beautiful Judgment card showing up. Judgment card is about rebirth, coming out of your cocoon, all of this. I don't think what you're frustrated with is like, I feel like I need to rest. My body is saying I need to rest, but my brain is saying you got to go, 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 right? Rest, goof off, recuperate, do all those things because you will naturally come out of your cocoon. You will be reborn. You will feel energy again. I don't think you have to force it. I think it will come naturally. Your body, if you honor your body by saying, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit and watch old movies. I'm going to play video games. I'm going to read books. I'm going to do all the things that I don't normally have time to do. And and genuinely replenish yourself, then you will have the excitement and energy and enthusiasm to get started again. Now, how do you get to that place? I think also there's a little resistance because why do I feel like you're doing a doctoral thesis or something right now? Galadriel Faye, are you doing something like that? I kind of recall that. So it may be that you're, it's not fun. Who wants to do an unfun thing? You know what I mean? I think, it's like, I mean, working on this project, I'm working now. I waited to the last minute because I need, whatever. I needed downtime. So what, right? I'll just do it now. But I think that's what you want to. Oh my gosh, this little one. Hello. So I think that, for you to give yourself that downtime, and then you will naturally start. Now, if you need some extra motivation, do a spell to get motivation, right? If you feel inspired by magic, if you are like, ugh, magic's another chore, then that won't work. But most people, I think most of you all, and I know Galadriel, you like to do spells and you like to do magic, and that can sometimes be the start. So get yourself a vigil candle or get yourself a candle spell and get it in red. Red is for passion. It's also romance and love and romantic passion, but it's passion, enthusiasm, optimism, action, taking action, all that Aries energy. Get a red candle and light that red candle. It could be a simple red candle. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, although you could get a figural candle in red to represent you, to get your motivation back, to get your excitement back, to get your energy back. That's what I would recommend. I think that could be a great start if you feel inspired by doing a candle spell. If a candle spell is too much for you, you don't have the energy for a candle spell, because sometimes, it does take, spiritual energy to get a candle spell going. Then what I would recommend doing is doing affirmations, right? That doesn't take much effort at all. Go into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and say, "I'm motivated. I'm energized. I have the energy to complete this task." So let's ask the Magic 8 Ball, will a candle spell be helpful? Because I think that is the question that we need to know. Will a candle spell be helpful? And if not a candle spell, then we know it's affirmations.
My sources say no. So maybe it's the time to focus on something easier.
Yeah, the affirmations. Start with the affirmations then. Then not now is not the time for the candle spell. And then maybe you'll get the energy to do a candle spell. I think there's some resistance, like really there's a resistance on some part. You know what? I'll tell you something. Writing books, resisting my thesis. Yeah, right. So here's the thing, writing books, sometimes you're really into it and enthusiastic, and other times it's a real slog in the mud. Usually you're like beginning, you're like super enthusiastic, and then you're right. And then toward the end, you might get enthusiastic, or after you're done, you're enthusiastic again, right?
When it comes out.
Yeah, exactly. You're enthusiastic again when you've gotten through all the hard stuff. But here's what I did. I would think, here's another technique that I think can be very good. It worked for me. You can try it. That's all I'll say. When I was writing my Baba Yaga book, I was already had a connection with Baba Yaga. I was already very deeply, very inspired by learning and researching and doing all this work. It got me through the really hard times, although there were very hard times where I was crying about the book because it was so hard to write, because I was coming to dead ends and all kinds of things, right? So, but with the animal magic book, I didn't come out of the gate with like a clear vision for the book. So I was kind of stumbling and bumbling around. I knew I wanted to write about animal familiars. I knew, but I was kind of lost and bumbling at the beginning. So what I did was I did a vision journey where I went to go meet the spirit of the book.
I love
And you
that.
can go and meet the spirit of your thesis. So in my vision, the spirit of my book was this beautiful goddess who was surrounded by all these animals that she loved, and she was like loving up those beautiful animals, and they all loved her. And she then, meeting her and getting to know the spirit of the book, that gave me focus and energy. That gave me excitement about the book when I was at first really lost and didn't know what I was doing. And that gave me the energy to get through it, because I would go visit her, I'd go talk to her, I'd ask her questions. So I think you want to meet the spirit of your thesis. Talk with the spirit of your thesis. Tell the spirit of your thesis, I don't really want to do this thesis. Because when you meet that spirit, you will be inspired. It's like your muse, right? Sometimes, it's like, yeah, you got to meet the spirit of the thing that you're creating and meet with it. I already knew, I don't think I had a real spirit of the candle magic book. I just kind of pumped it out because I knew so much about candle magic and it was easy. I guess it was already there or whatever. And same with the tarot book. But these last two books, I've really had to meet the spirit of those books, to meet. I mean, I knew Baba Yaga and I met with her and talked many times, spent times with her. And I think, that also deepened my relationship. But this one, I was kind of lost at the beginning. And then after I met the spirit, I'm like, oh, it gave that book, it gave me more confidence in my ability to write the book. And I think that's a big thing. So I think you need to meet with the spirit of your thesis. So no candle magic, not for this thing. All right, everybody, I got to get going because I got to get back to my homework. And
should we talk about next week's workshop before we go?
Oh, yeah. So next week, we're having our beautiful September Witchcraft Workshop, which is the first Sunday's Witchcraft Workshop. It's about the Molfar and Molfarka, which are the Slavic shamans. This takes place next Sunday, September 1st. I'm so excited for this workshop. The Molfar and Molfarka are magical Hutzul people that are doing shamanic work and pretty amazing. So if you would like to learn about this, come and join me September 1st. It'll be an amazing class. We're going to learn so much. We're going to see little video clips of molfars in action and molfarkas in action. And you'll learn all about their special tools that they use for their magic, their special techniques, how they use weather magic. They do weather magic. They do clearings and cleansings and healings and all kinds of amazing magical things. So I hope you will join me for that. It's a very, very special workshop. Don't forget that we are doing a special fundraiser for seniors called Bring the Light, which is in association with Subotan Harbor, which is where all your donations are going to feed seniors. But if you would like to support these seniors in getting lights in their house, if you buy one of the Academy of the Magical Arts workshops, which are the video on demand workshops, right? They're $25 for the workshop. We're going to donate $13 to Bring the Light so that they can buy one light for every class that we sell. I hope you guys show up and buy these classes. You can buy the class and take the class anytime. Take it at your own pace. These are not live workshops. These are pre-recorded workshops, but this is a great way to get something for yourself, an amazing workshop or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10, and also get a lamp to a senior in Ukraine. So I hope you'll do that. And if you already, let's say you've already taken all the workshops. I don't know if anyone has, but if you have, you can buy a workshop for a friend and give it to a friend. That's a wonderful thing that you can do, and you can donate this light. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's see how much we raised today. We have $130. Wonderful. Thank you so much for making those donations. Yeah, we have 130. Excellent. I'll throw some in too, and we'll be helping a bunch of seniors to get fed this week. Thank you guys so much for all your donations. Thank you, Love Witch, for helping and doing your magic 8-ball, which is so fun and funny. Next week, we'll be doing this, but we'll be doing it slightly later, 6:30, approximately 6:30 after the workshop, the Molfar and Molfarka workshop. 6:30 Pacific, 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern time. And we will be doing it with Miss Kelly, will be our guest, right? She'll be doing astrology. So next week is the most popular one because everybody loves to have the astrology reading. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't love the tarot and they don't love you, but let's face it, everybody goes
We're here every week. It's okay.
So I think they like the astrology more than anything you and I do, honestly, but it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll join us next week at that little later time. We appreciate you and thank you so much for your donations, and we'll see you